प्रॉपर मॉन्स्टर ट्रक फील्स है ब्रो एंड टेंशन नहीं कहीं पे भी चढ़ा देने का इस गाड़ी में लाइक यू डोंट नीड टू वरी अबाउट रॉक्स चट्टान कोई टेंशन नहीं जस्ट चढ़ाओ Hello and welcome to Beach Out. Today I am in Goa and over here I have something really special for you. Of course, I am pretty sure quite a few of you have already seen this build, but I could not resist being in Goa and not coming and having a look at it myself. With me today I have Deepraj's personal project, which is a monster Innova. This of course is a one-off build. You will not find anything like this in the entire country, and that is the charm of it. And the bigger charm and the biggest wow factor about this car is how it's been built and what all has gone into it. So I'm going to take you on a quick tour to look at this car, to check out its mechanicals as well as the rest of the electronics. Hope you enjoy this trip. First things first, this car looks proper mad. As I said, there is nothing like this in the entire country, and that is pretty much true. It has taken Deepraj and his team more than a year to complete this build. And of course, by one look at it, you know why it's taken this long. The first thing you notice about this car is it's a two-door, and to get that they basically had to chop the body into half, bring it all together by approximately 1 feet and then stick it on top of the chassis. Now the chassis of course wouldn't have taken this kind of lift by stock, so for that they have added lifters over here. This is one, here's another lifter, then at the front and back as well. These bits have been custom made at the front as well as at the rear. And on top of these 4 mountings on all 4 corners, this lift has been achieved. Apart from that, Deepraj and his team also wanted a car which is not just about the looks, but also something that can properly perform off-road. The problem with this original engine was its, first of all, that it was petrol, so torque is always an issue with an off-road car. Secondly, the Innova engine has a lot of sensors in it, which means when you're going off-road, when you're going underwater, this car is going to throw a lot of sensor errors and a lot of issues. So what they did is replace it with a 3-liter turbo diesel, which is much more of a rudimentary engine, but at the same time something that is way more reliable and works properly. The prop shaft also is from the Jeep, but only halfway through. Then over here with a universal joint, it is again mated to an Innova prop shaft to send the power to the rear. Over here if you see, the suspensions are also custom made in-house by Deepraj and his team, and there is a dual suspension setup at the front. There is this one spring which helps in providing a lot of cushioning to the lifted body, and then there are more suspension setup components underneath. This all goes along with the 37-inch tires which are sitting on 16-inch rims, front and back, no matter how you look at it. Right now it's sitting halfway up a hill, so it is obviously looking aggressive, but even if it is on the road just driving normally, there is nothing that comes close to the way this thing carries itself on the road. It's a proper monster. It's a proper monster Innova. You haven't heard a lot of people saying that, haven't you? Also, the lighting, the electronics in this car have been done by Clarity Audio. These guys work closely with Deepraj, and they are the ones who are responsible for doing the entire audio on the inside, the lighting on the outside, which also includes these turning lights, which help when you're doing off-road, especially at dark and in night. These lights basically help you see where you're going. They turn along with the wheel and give you a proper clear idea of the road ahead, or the off-road, or the mud or the slush ahead. I mean, just look at these lights, man. This car can go off-road during the day of course, and during night as well. What a mad build. Now as you can imagine, making a build like this is not going to be very easy where everything just fits and works all together. Of course, a lot of alterations has to be done, which obviously includes the entire lift, but along with that also you have to change things like the steering as well. Now the steering rack also has been modified because of course the distance between the actual steering and the rack has increased. So this shaft has also been altered, and also along with that, a lot of other components such as the air conditioning and other things had to be modified to ensure that they work seamlessly with the entire build. Now of course you can imagine that when you put a 3-liter DI engine in this, the clutch is of course going to be from that same engine. The issue is that that clutch is very heavy. So what these guys have done to make it a little more livable on a day-to-day basis is fit a hydraulic clutch, which makes the whole thing a lot more softer and easy to use. Along with this design of making it a two-door, now the seats move forward, so you can put yourself inside over here, and there you go. And by the way, what that also does is makes this a 4-seater with insane amount of legroom. Like the legroom is crazy, it's nuts. Okay, so I know sometimes in videos you really can't understand the actual real life size of things, but what I've done is I've made a quick little comparison for you to understand. This of course is the Monster Innova, and hidden behind it is my entire car. My Tata Tiago EV is completely hidden behind the Monster Innova, just for you to see the difference in size, the difference in height, the difference in lift. Basically, just have a look at this. Where my bonnet ends, his tire is still above it. Mad. That is how a proper monster truck should be. Just look at the difference in the height. My roof line is where that Innova's doors are. Okay, trying to drive the lifted Monster Innova. First challenge is getting in. Thankfully, Deepraj has already thought of that. He's put a nice big bar over here where you can put your foot and just hop in. It feels super weird sitting in Innova this high. Proper monster truck feels है bro. And tension नहीं कहीं पे भी चढ़ा देने का. इस गाड़ी में like you don't need to worry about rocks, चट्टान, कोई टेंशन नहीं, just चढ़ाओ. ये कार के साथ ना, I mean if you're on the road, पहले तो ये कार पूना में चाहिए मुझे. Why? Because पूना में जितने लोग रोड पे जबरदस्ती जानबूझ के मस्ती करते हैं ना ट्रैफिक में, वो बस एक बार अपने रियर व्यू मिरर में they have a look at this car, अपने आप साइड हो जाएंगे. You know, just the monstrous looks of this car is going to clear the traffic in front of you. Secondly, it sounds like a proper monster truck, a proper diesel monster truck. It sounds raw, it's loud, and here. And there's also a small turbo whistle which you can hear at the back. It's just that थोड़ी सी आदत डालनी पड़ेगी to understand the turbo, to understand how much torque you have, to understand a lot of different things, because you're not used to, especially an Innova, but any which ways you're not used to a car like this. You think that भाई क्लियरेंस खत्म हो गई, बट टेक्निकली देखा जाए यू हैव इनफ क्लियरेंस कि एक बंदा नीचे से हुला करते हुए जा सकता है, उतना जगह है गाड़ी में. यू गाइस हैव नो आइडिया हम लोग कैसे टेरेन पे ऐसे पागल जैसा गाड़ी चला रहे हैं. दिस थिंग इज जस्ट क्रशिंग एवरीथिंग. ये असली मॉन्स्टर ट्रक है. मतलब यू वुड इमेजिन दैट अ कार लाइक दिस would have, you know, tons of noises, tons of rattles. Nothing apart from the monstrous sounding engine. There is no other noise on the inside. The car is quiet, it's silent, so when you put your windows up, you put your air conditioning on, you're of course sitting much taller, but technically you're sitting comfortably over here. Pretty much as a stock car. You know, that kind of tells you the build quality and the way people have put attention to detail, and not just मतलब वो जुगाड़ वाला चिपकाऊ काम नहीं है. It's everything has been done in a proper way, keeping all these things in mind, because what is the point of a car if you are in the end just not able to use it because of all the rattles, the squeaks, things falling apart? This is not that kind of a thing. Man, this has been an incredible experience. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much for watching. I am going to catch you in the next one. Till then, ciao.